Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be diving into the ongoing madness of Project Epoch's launch. A quick update on what's been happening, what the devs actually told us, and what we might expect moving forward. If you're into WoW private server guides, breakdowns, and updates like this, go ahead and smash that like button and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on more content like this. Let's get into it. So, what's the deal with Project Epoch? For those of you who don't know, this is supposed to be the next big thing in World of Warcraft private server scene. A classic plus experience blending vanilla nostalgia with a fresh twist like custom quests, revamped classes, and new content. The hype was off the charts, and honestly, it's easy to see why. Players were hyped for the server that promised to evolve the WoW formula while keeping the old school vibe. But when launch day hit on July 26, it was a total train wreck. The devs expect around 4,000 players split between their two servers, Kizan and Gurubashi. Instead, they got slammed with nearly 30,000 players trying to log in at once. That's not just a miscalculation, that's like planning a quiet dinner party and having a stampede crash to your door. Even the beefiest servers would have buckled under that load, and Project Epoch's setup was nowhere near ready. Since then, the servers have barely stayed up for more than a couple of hours at a time, leaving players frustrated and the community in limbo. But here's the kicker, this chaos actually proves something. The hype for Classic Plus server is alive and kicking. People are starving for a fresh take on WoW, and Project Epoch tapped into that. Too bad the execution was more of a crash and burn than an epic adventure. So let's break down what the devs have done since the meltdown and why their silence is driving everybody nuts, and how long we might be waiting for a fix. Now what's changed? The dev team has been scrambling to fix this mess, and they shared two major updates that are supposed to get things back on track. Now, I'm no tech wizard, my expertise is more swinging swords and Azeroth than coding servers, but I've done some digging to help break this down for you. First up, they switched the client from single threading to multi-threading. Now what does that mean? Well, picture this. With single threading, one lonely CPU core was handling everything. Combat calculations, quest triggers, chat spam, you name it. It's like having one guy at a buffet trying to serve 30,000 hungry players. No wonder it crashed. The launch capped each server at around 2,000 players, and even that was laggy and a crashy disaster. Multi-threading is like bringing a whole crew, spreading the workload across multiple CPU cores. This should mean smoother gameplay, higher FPS, and better performance in pack zones like Elwyn Forest and Dortar. Now, it's a solid fix, but here's the frustrating part. Why wasn't this in place before launch? Multi-threading isn't some shiny new tech, it's been around forever. For a server with such big ambitions, launching on a single-threaded setup feels like showing up to a raid with a level 1 character. It's a step forward now, but it stings that we're only getting it after the fact. The second change is a full server swap from Windows to Linux. Windows might be great for your gaming PC, but as a server operating system, it's kind of a hog, clunky, and it's resource heavy. When 30,000 players piled in, it choked hard, leaving us with endless queues and disconnects. Linux, on the other hand, is like a lean, mean machine of a hosting world. Lightweight, efficient, and built to handle big crowds. It's a gold standard for MMOs like WoW, and this switch should, in theory, stabilize connections and let more players log in without the whole thing imploding. So, these updates sound promising, right? But here's the million-dollar question. When will the servers actually be playable? The answer is, we have no clue. And that's where the problem lies. The devs have been posting daily updates, but they're about as helpful as a level 1 quest with no rewards. We're getting vague lines like we're working on it or no ETA yet. That's it. No timeline, no specifications, no accountability, just radio silence dressed up as progress reports. This lack of communication is what's really grinding the community's gears. People aren't just mad about the crashes, they're mad about being left in the dark. Imagine ordering food and the app just says it's coming, eventually. You'd lose your mind, right? That's how Epoch community feels right now. Transparency matters, especially when you've hyped up thousands of players and then dropped the ball. A simple, hey, we're aiming for next week, but it might take longer, would do wonders. Instead, we're stuck refreshing Discord and hoping for scraps of info that never come. So, how long are we looking at? Without solid information from the devs, we're left guessing, and the community's estimates are all over the place. Some say porting everything to Linux and ironing out the kinks could take as little as a week if they're fast. Others, looking at similar projects, warn it could drag out for 3 months. Based on my own limited research, I split the difference. I'm guessing 2 to 4 weeks if they're hustling, but it could stretch out longer if they hit snags. The multi-threading switch is probably mostly done, but the Windows to Linux transition is a beast. Rewriting configurations, testing stability, and scaling for the target players of 5,000 to 7,000 isn't a weekend project. The problem is we shouldn't have to guess. This is on the devs. They owe us a rough ETA, or at least an honest, it's going to take a while. The silence isn't just frustrating, it's eroding trust in the project that had so much potential. Here's my hot take. The devs need to stop with this daily limbo and own up to the mess. I say they take the servers officially offline, fix everything properly, plan a full relaunch in, let's say, 2 weeks. Wipe the slate clean, give everybody a fresh start, and launch it right this time. Yeah, I know some of you in the comments will say, just play something else. Go touch grass, dude. Fair point, but that's not what this is about. People poured their excitement into Project Epoch because of the incredible work promised. New zones, custom raids, a reimagined WoW experience. They're not mad because they can't play the game, they're mad because they've been let down with no answers. A relaunch isn't perfect. It ticked off a lot of players who've already grinded levels and gold. But this drip fed of maybe today is worse. It's like waiting for a bus that never shows up. A clean break, a clear plan, and a solid relaunch could rebuild a hype and give the server the debut it deserves. I'll end on this. The Epoch team isn't just sitting around. They've been busting their butts working long hours to fix this nightmare. Switching to multithreading in Linux mid-crisis isn't easy, and you can tell they're passionate about making this work. Huge props to them for that. They're not giving up, and that counts for something. But passion isn't enough right now. The community needs more than vague updates and good intentions. We need accountability, a timeline, and a reason to keep believing in this project. That's all I've got for now. Project Epoch's launch was a disaster, no question, but it's not dead yet. These fixes could turn it around if the devs start talking to us like adults instead of leaving us hanging. How long do you think it'll take for the servers to be playable? Should they wipe everything and relaunch? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe for more WoW private server content. I'll be covering all the juicy updates as they come. Catch me live here on YouTube once Project Epoch servers are stable enough to play. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you out there. Peace.